Did you know oftentimes hail damage is invisible to the untrained eye? Just because you don't see missing or broken shingles after a storm doesn't mean damage didn't occur. That's because shingles are made of a thin layer of asphalt coated in granules. Hailstones bruise shingles, causing soft spots that leave them vulnerable to weather and expose the asphalt underneath. If a road several inches thick of asphalt can be torn up by sun, what do you suppose is happening to your thin roof? It may take weeks, months, even years for the damage to worsen and cause actual leaks. But who wants to wait for that to occur? Now think about it. You know what hail damage looks like on a car, right? Dented metal. Think about how much damage could really occur to thin sheets of asphalt. Damage does occur, whether you realize it or not. I mean, when was the last time you climbed up on the roof and inspected it? Have you ever done that? And do you know what to look for? It's like if someone showed me an x-ray of a tooth and asked me to point out a cavity, I wouldn't have any idea how to do it, because I'm not a dentist and I have no idea what I would even be looking for. Dentists are trained, educated, and experienced in dealing with oral health, because that's what they do for a living. Which is why I, a storm restoration specialist, is here. Hail damage can be heavy, the easy to spot, we have a problem sort of situation. Or light, the kind you can hardly see. Either way, you still have a problem. I tend to think of hail damage like a speeding ticket. It's like driving on a road with a 25-mile-per-hour speed zone and a car zooms by at 50 miles per hour and then another car zooms by at 80 miles per hour. Technically, the car doing 80 is doing much worse than the car doing 50. But ultimately, they are both in the wrong and deserve a ticket. With hail damage, whether you have big or small damage, damage is damage, and ultimately it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when further damage will arise. Have you ever filed a claim? Don't be nervous. Filing a claim is actually a really simple process. All you have to do is call the 1-800 number for the claims department to your homeowner's insurance and tell them you'd like to file a claim for damage to your roof. They will assign an adjuster to your claim and schedule a time for them to come and inspect your home, like I did today. The adjuster has two jobs. 1, approve or deny the claim. And 2, if approved, write the estimate for what the insurance company will be willing to pay. Years ago, you could go out and get 3 different bids for the work to be done. Then the insurance company would pick the lowest one and send you a check for the claim. Insurance claims no longer work that way because there are the contractors who are way overpriced that charge an arm and a leg. And then there are the 2 chucks in a truck type contractors who don't have the right insurance. Workman's comp, who use cheap materials, reuse roof flashings, provide no warranty, and dump their debris in creeks somewhere. This method forced homeowners to settle for this type of contractor. Then the homeowner receives inferior quality of work and increased odds at needing work done again in the future due to faulty workmanship. It's kind of like a cheeseburger. How much does a burger cost? You could get a processed, questionable one from McDonald's for $1. You can get a USDA Select 100% beef burger for $10 from Chili's, or you can go for the gold and order a 100% dry-aged prime beef burger handcrafted and cooked to your liking from a fancy steakhouse for $35. It's all a matter of quality. Your roof is no exception, which is why nowadays adjusters use a special software called Xactimate. It provides fair market value for supplies and labor, providing a fair estimate for claims for your area. I use the exact same software. This makes it easy to speak fluently with adjusters and ensure that all materials needed are accounted for and they get the proper measurements. See, just like in all other professions, there are 2 different kinds of adjusters, good ones and bad ones. The good ones are diligent, fair, and knowledgeable about hail damage and treat your house like it's their own. The bad ones are temperamental, unfair, and inexperienced with storm-related damages. You never know which one will be assigned to your claim. So what can you do to put yourself in a better position for your claim? Let me do the work for you. What does that mean exactly? As a storm restoration specialist, here's what I will do. I will do everything the adjuster is supposed to do, just before they ever arrive. I'll draw diagrams, take all the necessary measurements and photos, and write the line-by-line estimate using Xactimate. Then, when the adjuster arrives, I will go over everything I found with him and show him my figures. This gives even the most moody adjuster a starting base to work from and help ensure you get what you deserve from your insurance company. Worst case scenario? They deny your claim and you get nothing. But guess what? I don't get anything either. You don't owe me a dime. Plus, you do have the right to get a re-inspection. All the work of diagramming, photographing, documenting, corresponding, faxing, meeting with the adjuster, and entering my findings into the software takes between 15 and 20 hours. It's a hefty investment of time into your insurance claim. Yet, I will never charge you for my services. I just ask, if your insurance claim does get approved, that you let me do the work. That's it. Just allow me to be the contractor who does your hail damage restoration. There are no rigid contracts, no catch or hook, and it is completely risk-free. And with the best case scenario, you'll get a brand new roof at 95% off. But before we get more into that, let me show you how insurance companies used to pay versus how they pay now. Years ago, if the estimated amount was $10,000, they'd write a check for the full amount minus the deductible. So if the deductible was $1,000, they would send you a check for $9,000. Unfortunately, what do you think a lot of people did with that big fat insurance check? Buy a new car, install a swimming pool, or go on an elaborate vacation. Or in some cases, found an even lower bid somehow than what the insurance company was paying up front and pocketed the rest. Unfortunately, that's actually insurance fraud, so the insurance companies stopped paying that way. The way they pay now is they break the payment into two parts. So if you have the same claim for $10,000 and a deductible for $1,000, you're still going to get $9,000. However, they withhold depreciation, roughly a third of that money, so your first check would be for $6,000. They pay you this amount purposely to get you started, but it's not enough to get you finished. The second check is issued only after work has been completed and invoiced for the original claim price of $10,000. At this point, they will release the remaining $3,000. They also add the mortgage company to ensure the work gets done. That way, if a homeowner gets their insurance estimate for $10,000 and got a check for $6,000, which includes the deductions for their deductible and depreciation, and then finds someone who says they will do it for $7,000, the insurance company gets the invoice and says, "We already paid you $6,000 and you're responsible for your $1,000 deductible. That's $7,000 to pay for your roof. Thanks for saving us $3,000. My deal on insurance claims is as long as I don't lose money completing the job, I'll complete the work even if my initial bid was higher. My last recommendation is to file your claim sooner rather than later. The longer you wait after a storm, the more insurance companies tend to tighten the reins on what they allow and end up approving. Get your claim in fast and get the money you deserve to repair your roof. I want you to understand that if the insurance doesn't approve the claim, you're not liable for anything. You owe me nothing. Let me help you get the roof repairs you deserve. I'm a storm restoration specialist, and I can tell you that you have damage which will cause issues later. Let's get this taken care of now. I'm on your side.